First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zheng Kong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Tupten Darji, homage to the three jewels of the altar, and homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Sri Hevajra, and the Amandant one of the Ambrosia nectar. All the precious Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the webcast. And our participating VIPs today, the Chief Secretary of the Taiwan government, Mr. Zheng Peifu and Mrs. Zheng, and the academician from Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu Siyi and Mrs. Zhu, Council from Tainan, Mr. Tsai Wang-Quan, and the Zhongshan Medical College Affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, Dr. Zheng, and Troubadour School Scholars Group and Medical Group. The Law Advisor to the Troubadour Foundation, Ms. Jennifer Zhou, and the representative to the Council of Taipei City, Ms. Chue Hui-Ling, the General Manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen, and the Datuk from Malaysia, Datuk Kenneth Loy Latin, and their daughter Li Qian. And from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Professor Chen Zongjie and his wife, Dr. Chen, and the President of Indonesian Tatan Culture, Mr. Arjun Chen and Mrs. Chen, Marichi New Energy Company, the CEO, Mr. Liu, the Howard Johnson's Hotels President of the Guangzhou Division, Mr. Zhang, and an entertainer from Singapore, Miss Yiling.
My university same classmate 朱金水先生及夫人陈泽霞女士。华光功德会总会长常仁上师
and the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Master Chang Ren, and then the director of the Taiwan Area Lotus Light Charity Society, Mr. Li Chunyang, and producers for the Guinea Diansang Shinten, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi,
大圆满九次第喜金刚讲义及密宗道次第
and for the Great Perfection Dharma Hevajra Exposition and Development Stages of Tantrayana, the producers Master Lian Yue,
道果圆觉经主持人联合上师、联家上师
and the host for Lamdre and the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lien He, Master Lien Jia, and Master Lien Hai,
三师姑就是
and my
my sister
sister
卢国英女士及 husband。另外我是看到很多的贵宾，
and I see many other
这
VIPs
个
today.
其中有这个叉叉的侍者，
And also the close attendant to Master X, 莲花春
另外有
晖,
巴西这个
and from
第四义
Brazil,
的老板，
the boss of PZ,
也就是文筛的帮叉叉文筛的，
which is the one who did a
另外
blush
还有
tattoo
这个
on Master X's face,
这个叉叉雷藏寺
to
的
tattoo the rosy cheek,
委员是不是董事？董事也
and the members of the board who are also here. So all the witnesses are here today,
还有很多那个来还境的，
and
从
many
美国来
more
还境的，
to receive cleansing and repurifications from America,
各国来还
from
境的，
Taiwan, and from many other countries. They all filled the 6th floor today, especially for this repurification.
真的是因缘际会，鸿运在
This
起。
is like the gathering of an important event that
这些不管
the winds
这些
and the clouds
这些
start
不管
again. But
我还没有跟
let
大
it
家
be.
问好。
I haven't said my greetings. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do?
你好，大家好。
In Taiwanese, in Cantonese,
Selamat siang, selamat petang.
in Indonesian, in Malay,
Domo, konnichiwa.
in
Good afternoon.
Japanese, in English,
And 这个少几
and
给给多么
Portuguese,
久
Spanish,
Hola, hola, amigo. Que quedo mucho. 今天这个真的是因缘际会，风云再起。先讲一个笑话。
Today is
这个笑话不是怎么好笑，不过
the
大家听
gathering
就好。
of affinities, and
这个有一个同门遇到
the winds and clouds rise again. But let me share a joke first.
他每天都给我300万。
There was a disciple that told me that
你
every
每天都
day
给我300万
he give
不得了。
me $3 million. Wow, every day, then I would be really
请
rich.
问你是做什么的？我说
And
做梦
then I asked, what do you do? Oh, I'm a dreamer.
真的是做梦啊！
That's
我说
really a
白日梦已经
dream.
做好久了。
I've been daydreaming for a long
到
time.
今天为止，
So up till today,
我记得
I
台
remember
湾雷藏寺的董事长，
the head of the
连
Taiwan
应该是代理住持，
temple, or the
算是董事长。
representative abbot,
他要出家以前，我住在
and we
金
also
华
can
旁
also
边
call him the president, that prior to his ordination, I was living at the Jinghua Hotel.
黄皮纸的箱
So
子，
he was carrying a
黄
huge
皮纸
luggage made of like a leather,
他抬
yellow
头
leather,
顶在头上，因为太重了，
And he carried it on his head because it was so
我
heavy.
说师尊，
And he
这
said,
个要供养你。
Grandmaster, this is an offering
我
for
一看
you. And
是什么东西
when
啊？一个盒子那么大。
I took a
他
look,
说
and
这
what
是
is
我一
in
生
that?
啊
What is it? It's such a huge
所做的
box.
工作
And he said,
赚来我
This
存
is
的钱，今
my
天全部要供养师尊。
my savings from
那是多
all
少
my
年前的事
earnings,
情啊？
all my life,
啊，你
from
自
my
己想一
life.
下，多少年
This is
前？
my life savings.
25
How
年
many
前。
years ago was that?
25
25
年
years
前，他在
ago.
金华大饭店，
He
他
was
一
at the
生
Jinghua
工作
Hotel,
所有的钱，全
and
部
he
存在那
offered
个
all of his life
黄色的
savings,
很大的一个
and he
箱子，
placed it in a
他
huge
顶在头上，
luggage, a
要
yellow
供养师尊。
luggage
我把
that
它
he
打开
carried
来
on his
看，
head as an
打开来
offering
看
to
了一看，
Grandmaster, and I opened it and
哇，
took a look.
绿油油一片，
It was
绿
all
油油一片，
green,
全部都是大
sparkling
钞，
green,
全部都是大钞，绿油油一片。
and it's the
你说那个时候你供养多少
large
钱？
bills. How much was
300
that?
万。哦，上百万啊，上百万，
About $1 million.
上百万啊，上百万。
About $1 million.
哇，这个
Wow.
这个百万不得了啊！25年前啊，
25 years ago, $1 million is
百
a
万富
lot.
翁了，那时候百万富翁了。
That's a
25年前
millionaire.
我一看，哎呀，这么多钱我不敢拿，因为我怕
And
到
when I
钱多，
saw so
我自己
many,
就会
so
怕。
much money, I
自
didn't
己穷惯了，
accept it
自己很穷，穷
because
惯了，
I would be
看这
scared
么
when
多
I
钱，
see so much
自己害
money
怕。
because I
然
used
后
to
我就跟
live
他讲，
in
我给
poverty.
你拿几张，
So I told him that let me just pick
就
a
代
few
表你这个
bills just to
全
represent
心全意的供养，我就给他
that
拿
your
几张。
wholehearted offering has been
这个是
accepted.
印象最深的。
So
印象
that
25
left a
年前
very
我还记
strong
得，他在
impression,
进
the strongest
一点一个
impression.
金华大饭
25
店
years ago, I
这
still
个
remember,
lobby 的
and
地
that
方，
was at the
我正
lobby
在
of the
check in，
Jinghua
他来
Hotel
还要
where I was still
我说不得
checking
了，
in
这个
then,
是人家他一生当中的积蓄，
and
全
that
部
was
供
his life saving. He offered that,
25年我都记住了。
and I still remember it from 25 years ago.
人家如果给我300万，
If
我
someone
会记
gave
住，
me
会不会记住？
$3
一定
million,
记住。
will I remember it? Of course I will.
但是我偏偏忘了，
But I
奇怪
don't
了，
remember
什么时候、
such a case.
哪个地
When?
点、
Where?
什么人，
Who?
真的好奇怪。
That's
我怎么忘
really
了？
strange. How could that be
300万
forgotten?
你心脏
$3
不会跳出
million.
来吗？
Your heart would at least skip a beat.
原来是做梦。
It turned out that it was just a dream.
好了，不讲，我们讲这个啊，讲这个好玩。
Okay. Let's talk about this fun thing
大家知道
instead. Let's
洗
not
金刚
talk more about that.
啊，师尊写过一本《洗金刚讲义》，
We all know about
大乐
Hevajra.
中的空性。
Grandmaster has written a book on the
今
exposition
天我
of
们的
Hevajra.
就是这一尊洗金刚。
And today our Homa is this deity Hevajra.
我是讲所有的金刚法中讲的最圆满、最周
Of all
全
the Herukas, the Vajra
就是洗
deities,
金刚。
the one that I expounded most completely and lucidly is this
这一
Hevajra.
尊呢、是藏密当中5大金刚
Hevajra is one of the 5
金刚神
Tibetan Heruka practices that appeared
藏密萨金
first.
刚法第一个出现的
Of all the 5 Herukas of Tibetan Tantrayana, the first one who appeared
是由
was
马尔
Hevaja.
巴到了印度去求法，
And it
然
was
后那罗巴
requested by
给他
Marpa,
所
who
有
went to India
金刚法当中
and
其中的
prayed
一
to
尊，
Naropa.
他还有一个这个密集金刚，
And Naropa transmitted
另外
one
很
of
多
the
金刚法他
Herukas
传给马尔巴大人。
of like Guya Samaya and other
马尔巴
Hevaja
大师是
practice,
白教
Heruka
白
practices.
教的祖
He
师，
transmitted
西藏的第一个祖
Hevaja.
师。
And Marpa is the
这个
first
喜金
patriarch
刚
of
啊，
Tibet
也不知
in
道怎么流
Kakyupa.
传，流传到最后变成
And
萨迦教、
Hevaja
萨迦派
continued
的专
to be
制，
transmitted
专门
until
修炼
in
的
Sakyapa
喜
is
金
the
刚甘露前，就是萨迦教
special, the
真的智能
unique
甘露前。
Dharma practice of
这一尊
Sakyapa,
呢，喜金刚
the Sri
是由
Hevaja.
萨迦正空上师德
So
松仁波切
Hevaja
传给我
I received the lineage transmission from Sakya Zhenkong, the Zhong Rinpoche of the Sakyapa.
一般来讲，喜金刚有8个面孔，
Typically speaking,
16
Hevaja
只
has
手背，
8
4
faces,
只脚，
16 arms, 4
身体是
legs,
青色，
and his body is blue
愤
green,
怒相。那么
and
4
he's
足
wrathful,
踩着4魔，
and his 4 legs are stepping on the 4 maras. And what are the 4 maras?
烦恼魔，
One
它可以清除
is
所
the
有。
mara of afflictions. He can eradicate all afflictions.
第二个
Afflictions.
是五阴魔，
Second is the
是
mara
我
of
们上
5
礼拜讲的
aggregates.
五蕴，
The 5 aggregates that we talked about last week,
是色、受、想、行
which is the form, sensation, cognition, mental formation, and
第三个
consciousness.
是死魔，
And third is the mara of
解
death.
决掉生死的问题。
He can resolve issues of life and death. And fourth
天魔
is the heavenly
最大
mara,
的，
the greatest one.
那这4魔全部
So
踩
the
在
4
脚上，
maras were all stepped
这个脚
on
下
under
表示他能够
Hevaja's
降
feet.
服4魔。
That meant that he could subdue the 4 maras.
那么你看到喜金刚啊，你看到那个藏密的
When you
大金
see
刚出现的时候
Hevaja or
你
the
会看到
appearance of the 5
哇很多
Herukas in Tibetan Tantrayana, they would have lots of legs and arms, and each hand is holding Dharma implements, and they look very wrathful and they look similar. But it's easy to recognize
你看他的
Hevaja.
手
How?
他的
Just
手
look at his
完
arms,
全
his
是分开
hands.
来
They're all
拿着
open.
嘎巴拉
They're all
每一只
holding
手都拿着
Kapala.
嘎巴拉
Each of the
也
hands
就是拿着
is holding
18个
Kapala.
嘎巴拉
So
然后
18
每一个
Kapala.
嘎巴拉上面呢，
And on
就
each of the
是
Kapala
所谓嘎巴
or
拉
skull
就是
cup,
头离盖。我们人呢，
Kapala is skull cup.
切开来的离，
So the human skull that's split open,
然后上面
that's like a
都
cup.
有很多的神
And
在
on
里
top
面
of it, there are
甚至
many
动物
different gods and
很多的
animals.
神跟动物在里面，18只手，
Gods and
我刚刚讲
animals
了，
with
在回向里
18
面讲
arms.
日天、
And in my meditation, I said,
日夜
the
都在他的手上，
sun deva, the moon deva,
水天、
the earth deva, the
火
water
天、
deva,
都
the
在他的
fire
手上
deva, the wind deva, they're
啊所有
all on
天都在他的手上，
his
包
hands.
括财神这个
And
圣巴拉
including the
黄财神
fortune
都
gods,
在他的手
Jambalas,
掌上面。
the yellow Jambala, they're all
这一
in
尊呢，
his palms.
能够除一切疾病，
So he could
甘露泉
eradicate
就是
all
因为有水
sicknesses
天
due
所以
to
能
the
够
water
除一切
god.
疾病，能够镇一切的恶兽，
And can subdue all wild beasts, because on top of the Kapalas there are many wild animals,
也就是说，
and can
这一尊
bestow all kind of
也一样能够
wealths
赐给
and
大家
riches.
财宝的。
this deity can bestow riches too, because in one of his kapala there's a yellow jambala. And can also subdue the 8 great masteries and in control of the heaven and earth, sun and moon. Like recently, the weather is abnormal. When I met Australian disciples, asked, "Is it cold in Australia these days? Is it hot?" It should be hot, because when it's winter here, it's summer there. Interestingly, the answer was, it should have been really hot over there, but it's not. Sometimes in the 20s or 30s. And Australia is huge. And there are great changes in the weather. And in Taiwan, the winter this year is not even cold yet. And the weather forecast kept talking about there would be a cold draft. And the coldest drift of cold air would come, but we've been waiting and waiting, and we've been tricked that I almost lose my mind. So they are not accurate at all, the weather forecast. So like next Thursday and Friday, there will be the cold air coming. This time maybe. But the past, it kept talking about it's getting cold, and I was prepared by wearing the scarves, and then I got so hot that the ladies are still wearing mini skirts and I'm wearing scarves already. I was tricked by the weather forecasters. But he's in charge of the sun god and moon god. Maybe after today, tomorrow will be winter. I hope that He Vajra will help, that we will truly have some cold drafts. Because I'm scared of the heat, and I'm not scared of the cold. And this deity is always surrounded by women. And I was so envious because he embraces Nairyatma, the Buddha mother with no ego. That's the key one. And then around him there were the 4 guardian mothers and the Dakinis of the 8 directions and the goddesses of the 20 heavens. So in the heavenly realms there are 20 heavens, altogether 28 heavens. And of the 28 there were 20 heavens. The goddesses of these 20 heavens were surrounding He Vajra, and then the Dakinis of the 8 directions and the guardian mothers of the 4 directions and the Buddha mother with no ego. Oh, it's like the consorts or the concubines of the palaces. And the thick iron rod would be rubbed to become like a needle. But let me change that. If you're not strong enough, then it's meaningless. I've talked about He Vajra the most and the mantra. And the mudra, it's like the anjali, the joint palms, and then the thumb placed at the base of the ring fingers, and then you join the palms together. This is the mudra for Vajra. And his look I have mentioned earlier, with 8 faces, 16 arms, 4 legs, and the body is blue-green with wrathful look, and the 4 legs are stepping on the 4 maras, and the 16 arms holding implements and embracing the Buddha Mother, and 3 eyes with red, and the hair upright, long hair intertwined, and he wears head ring, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, belts with wisdom flames. And the 16 hands are holding the white elephant, a yellow earth god, a cyan horse, a white water god, a red donkey, a red fire god, a red cow, a blue-green wind god, a grey camel, a white moon god, a red human, a red sun god, a green lion, a green Yama king, a red cat, and a yellow Jamala. So all the 18 arms have gods on top of it, including sun and moon and the 5 elements. And his attainment is also the greatest one. First, if you have friction in his Dhamma practice, then you would become indestructible Vajra and a mighty king, and a king of worldly accomplishments, and a liberation king beyond the mundane world. And his overwhelming greed is the expedient means to great bliss, and the quintessence of his wrath is great compassion. And his joy, compassion, and impartiality are the skillful means of the Buddha nature's wisdom. In my Dhamma teachings and in my Vajra exposition, I can expound on it very clearly and in great details because I have written a book on it. And this deity is the Heruka that I expounded most clearly, and second is Kalachakra. And Kalachakra was the last Heruka that appeared. And all 4 schools highly revere Kalachakra. And I have also expounded a lot on Kalachakra, Vajra and Kalachakra. Are the Herukas that Grandmaster embodied. And my Kalachakra lineage came from Master Dubten Dorji. The empowerment came from Master Dubten Dorji and Master Sakya Kong Deshong Rinpoche. And I received these 2 great Herukas that are the greatest and that I love most. And our precept Heruka is Mahabala, and it is the only Heruka of True Buddha school. The 2 deities that we signed contract with, the 2 great protectors who have signed contract with me, who would support all True Buddha disciples, are Marici Bodhisattva, and the other one is Mahabala, the Heruka with great power. So these 2 deities are extremely important. Any True Buddha disciple would have these two deities as their greatest protectors.
那我先讲一个笑话吧。
Let me share a joke first.
有4位老人家打麻将。
There were 4 elderlies playing mahjong, and one is going to the
他
bathroom,
忘掉自己在打牌，就
and
回家了。
he forgot that he was playing mahjong, and he went home
另外
after the
3个老
bathroom.
人等了老半天，
And the other
想他
elderlies
上
waiting
厕
for
所
so
上哪
long
里去了？
and was
上哪里
wondering,
去了？
where did he go?
正想要 call 他的时候啊，
When they
3
were
个人
about
却
to
想
call
不
him,
起，
they
他
couldn't
走掉
think
那个人
of
到底是谁？
who was that who left.
啊，师尊是所有的事情都会健忘，
Grandmaster
很多
will
事情
forget
都是健
about a
忘，
lot of
很容
things.
易，很容易
It's
忘
very
掉。
easy to
一般
forget
到
them.
70几岁了，就是偶尔
Most
遗忘。
people in the 70s would forget
啊，经常
about
要拿
some
一个东西
things.
啊，然后
And
走
just
到这个
like if I want to
这
get
房间里面，
something and I walk
突然
into
间
my
忘掉要
room,
拿什么东西，
and then all of a sudden I forgot
然后
what
没
is
办
it
法再
that I
走回
want
去，
to get.
走回去，
And
哎，
then I
走
walk
到一
back,
半想起来，
and then I
又走
thought
回
of
来，
it,
走到房间，
and then I went back to the
哎，
room,
我又忘掉，
and then I
到
forgot
底要
again.
拿什么
What
东
was
西？
it that I was going to get?
结果想了好几天才想出来。
And then after thinking about it for a
所以
while, then
有时候
I
叫大家的
thought
名
of
字
it.
大家不要怪师尊。
So please
因
don't
为
blame
张
me
善
if I
我会
forget
叫
your
成李氏，
names.
李氏我会叫成王五。啊，这个看到人我
Mr.
是知道
Tang, I
的，
would call
但
as
是
Mr.
名字
Lee
经
and
常
Mr.
把
Lee
人
as
家忘
Mr.
掉，不
Huang.
好意思啊。
I remember you, but sometimes I forget your names.
这就是遗忘。
Sorry about that.
有一种东西我不会遗忘，
So that's about forgetfulness. But
永
there's
远
one
不会遗
thing
忘。
that I will never forget.
你们想一想是什么东西？
So think about it. What is it?
钱呐、
Money.
上个礼拜啊，
Last week,
上个礼拜才讲
I just said
嘎拉巴迪啊，嘎拉巴迪啊，
that Ganapati, the red Jambala,
这个大乐透，既然我们这里的这个威力彩没有人中
the
奖，
Taiwanese
一直到多久？
Great
现
Lodo,
在多少钱？
still doesn't have anybody
昨天会开
winning
奖是吧？累计多少钱呢？
now. The
8亿
prize is
哇
800 million NT dollars. What?
有没有人中奖？
Has anyone won the
在文莱
prize?
布鲁内他说有人中奖，
Master Lianing said in Brunei someone won the
站
prize,
起来
won the
喊一
lottery.
声有。
Yeah, please say.
文莱有人中奖，文莱布鲁内有人中。
So in Brunei someone won the lottery.
另外我听到了有几个人中，也有几个人中奖，也有几个人中
I
奖。
heard several people won the lotteries.
才入我生活中的家，
I hope that the lottery would
才入我生活中的
come
家
into the True Buddha school's home.
这才显出啊，这个生活中的这个
Then it would
威
show
力，
the power of True Buddha school.
去得到这个威力彩。
That so that we would win the lottery prize and the great prizes,
你们
the great power
会把自己的钱忘掉吗？
lottery. Will you forget about your money?
我什么都可以忘，
It's
只是钱忘
interesting.
不了。
I can forget about everything except money.
老人家本来是什么都会忘的，但是
As an
谁也是
elderly,
尊供
you
养
can be
多少钱
forgetful,
谁是
but
我是一清二楚。
who has made
不能打
offering
迷
to
雾
me?
战啊
I
不能
would
打迷雾战
be
我供
very
养你多
clear
少
about
我供
that.
养你多少
Please don't don't lie. Please don't muddle it. Of course, small offerings that I may forget, but for the large numbers, of course, I would remember. Let me share another joke. There's a big fat lady visited a friend, and the 4-year-old son of that friend said, "Oh, this auntie is really ugly," and she was really upset and was going to express her anger. And then the mother asked the child, "Please go apologize." And then the son said, "Oh, you're the most beautiful." And the ugly lady was very pleased. And then the mother said, "I asked you to apologize, not to lie." But let me tell you, Grandmaster does not lie. Grandmaster will not make up things. Grandmaster never lies. That Padma Kumara never lies. So I would speak truthfully. Like today, Grandmaster had the vision of Vajra descending. And Vajrasattva, Vajrapani, and Vajrahat Bodhisattva. The 3 bodhisattvas also descended together. And also the Dakinis of the 8 directions and the guardian mothers of the 4 directions, they all descended. So the true Buddha school Dharma teachers don't lie. I mean, Dharma masters don't lie. Now we have a witness here. Master Lian Zi. Where are you? Master Lian Zi. Oh, excuse me. Let me ask. Did you lie? Do you lie? No. Master Lian Zi said that Padma Kumaras will never lie. Let me ask a question. And just say what's in your heart. Does Master X lie? Does Master X lie? Yes, Master X lied. How long did you stay there? About 10 years.
大概有10年。
他在叉叉那里一共有10年的时间。
10年。
10年的时间。那么
He was there for a total of 10 years.
说谎是他的专长。
And you have said that lying is her specialty, right? Yes.
莲子上是跟着叉叉10年。
Master Lian Zi followed Master X, followed X for 10 years. And he said
说谎是叉叉的
that
专长。
lying is her specialty.
这一句话就已经够他受了，其他不用再讲什么。
This is enough.
莲花童子从来不说谎。
But Padmakumaras never lie.
好，谢谢你，请坐。我今天是把你叫起来，
Thank you.
因为
Please sit
因为
down.
你第一次来
I called upon
来
you
台湾雷藏寺，
because this
今
is
年
this year. This is your first appearance at the Taiwan Lizang Temple
第
during my
第一次来
ceremonies.
对他是在芝加哥雷藏寺弘法，Chicago 雷藏寺弘法。
He is
他
at
今年
the
第一次来
Chicago
这个
Temple,
主持这个晚会，那么我就无意中
and
想
this
到他
year
讲的话，所以请他站
it's his first time
不是
here.
刻意安排的。
And all of a sudden I thought of him, so I asked him to stand up. I didn't
是叉叉的专长。
arrange it earlier.
他得的
That
结论是
lying
这样
is her specialty, is X specialty. That's what he said. And this statement is enough to describe everything.
真的是，我几乎有点头脑都精神失常。
I almost feel,
这个笑话是这样子啊。
I almost lose my mind. This
昨
joke
天
is
去
like
医院
this.
挂号，有个人
Yesterday I
插
went
队
to the hospital
他
and get a
我质问
number,
他
and
你为什么不
somebody
排队？
got in
他回
front
答
of me,
因为我没水准。
cut the line. Why aren't you
一时
stay
间
in line?
我竟
Because
然无言以
I
对，
have no
舍
integrity.
性给他一巴掌。
And I don't know what to say, so I
你为
slapped
什么
him.
打我？
And then he asked me,
我
why
告
did
诉
you
他
slap
因为
me?
我有
And
病
I
啊，
replied, because I'm
要不
sick.
然来医院干什么？
Otherwise, why
这
would I
年
be in
头
the
谁怕
hospital?
谁啊？
Who's afraid of
越
whom?
怕越软弱。自从得了精神病以后，嘿，整个人精神好
The
多
more
了。
you're afraid, the weaker you get. So after I get the mental disease, then I feel much better.
我的师尊自从得了精神病以后，精神越来越好。
After Grandmasters gets a mental disease,
我们在今天在讲
I
这个
feel better and better.
道果。
So
再讲
today,
一点道果
let's continue talking about Lamdre.
这个道果就是瑜伽大自在吉祥
This
必有法
Lamdre
之语，甘露
was
教授。
the verbal expression of the ambrosia instruction of the great yogi with
就
auspicious
是
self-mastery
称呼
Virupa.
它为瑜伽。瑜伽是什么？
So
就是
Lamdre
相应。
praised him as a
瑜
yogi,
伽就是相应
and
的意思。
yogi means
大
spiritual
自在
union.
相应了大自在。
Once you gain
而且
spiritual
最吉
union
祥的
with
必有
great
法主持的
self-mastery
话
and the most
它
auspicious
的甘
one,
露教授
Virupa,
每一个
and
字，
that's his
每一句，
ambrosia
甘露一
instruction
样的
that
可以
every
治
word,
人的
every
8万
verse
4000
is like the sweet nectar, like
像
ambrosia,
甘露一样
that can cure
所谓甘露，
84,000 kinds of
像那
sicknesses.
个我们这个长寿如来手上拿的
Like
就是甘露
the Amitayus,
甘露瓶，
the longevity Buddha, he's
像
holding
这个
an
药师
ambrosia
如来
vase,
就是甘露水，
and also medicine
是药。
Buddha.
就是治病用的，
The bowl that he's holding
人
also
如果
filled
没
with
有病
ambrosia.
不会来到人间。来到
So
人间都是有病的，
if you don't have any illnesses, then you will not be born into the human
甘露
world.
水一样，
To be a human being, you
来
must have
教
some
导我们
illnesses. So
把
this,
我们的8
his
万
words
4000
are
种
like
病
ambrosia
不除
to
掉
teach
除
us
掉，
to eliminate
能
all
度众
kinds of
生气象
sicknesses.
无 无始净土之方便法门。
And it can salvage sentient beings to be reborn into the deathless Pure Land. And this is a Dharma gate that's also convenient, and they are skillful means. A good Dharma gate, we call it as skillful means. Actually, the wisdom Dharma gate is also the expedient or the convenient Dharma gate. Without the skillful means, the wisdom will not appear, because the wisdom is unmoved, using all kinds of methods with language and words. It can be taught. That's a kind of convenience, using all kinds of Dharma to teach spiritual cultivators. That's called skillful means or convenient Dharma. And the wisdom Dharma gate without skillful means cannot be taught or transmitted to us. Our bodies too are skillful means. And all the deities who appeared are also skillful means. A true wisdom is the empty nature of the Tathagata. So through the Dharma transmission of the lineage gurus, they are the skillful means to be born into the deathless Pure Land. What is deathless? It's mentioned here that sentient beings would die. Once you're born, you will die. No exception. But if you treat both as empty, then it would become deathless. So someone once asked, "Are you Sengyen Lu?" And Grandmaster replied, "I don't know." The Emperor Liang, Xiaoliang, asked Bodhidharma, asked Bodhidharma, "Who is it before me?" And Bodhidharma replied, "I don't know." And this is very profound. But the Emperor Liang thought that Bodhidharma just teased him. What did it mean that he did not know? Actually, I also think this way. I don't know. This person is Sengyen Lu? I don't know. Why? You don't know? Because Sengyen Lu in his 20s is very handsome. When I walk on the street, there are many girls following me. Well, because I was walking out of the station. So the Sengyen Lu of that time and the Sengyen Lu of now are different. Of course they are different. The sister, Lu Guoying, went to my the eldest younger sister. When I moved, I couldn't find my photos anymore. It turned out that the first younger sister collect them all, and then the third sister saw my photos. Lu Guoying said, "I didn't know that my big bro was so handsome, so cool, right? Didn't you say that when we dined the other day?" So that showed how I am right now. So how can the Sengyen Lu of that time is the same as the Sengyen Lu now, or the Sengyen Lu in his 80s, will it be the same as now?
所以我
No,
当然讲
of
不
course
知道，
not.
你到底问我是哪一个
So
卢
of
生燕，
course I would
还是我
say
头
I
光肚
don't
子
know.
刚刚出生的那个卢
Which
生燕，
one is Sung Yen Lu? Could it be the
都不
baby,
一样
the
啊。
nude baby? They're all different.
那只是一个象征啊，卢生燕只是一个象
Because
征。
Sung Yen Lu
达
is
摩
just a
祖师讲
symbol.
的就是这个意义。达摩这
So
两个
what
字也是一
Bodhidharma
个
was
象征
saying
而已啊。
is actually this,
这个无
because they are just
始
symbols.
无始的净土，
So the deathless
什么是
Pure
无
Land,
始的净土？
what
你
is
知
it?
道如来吗？
Do you know
好
Tathagata?
像有来，
It
又
seems
好像
coming,
没有来，
and
好像
also
有
it
来，
seems not
又好
coming.
像有去。
Or it
这个
seems
如
going.
来如
It
去
seems
是
coming,
一
it
样
seems
的，
going.
如来跟如去是相
And
同
they're
的，
all the same.
就是开悟的人才讲如来啊。
Only
好
the
像有
enlightened
来，
one would say
今天我
Tathagata,
们来这个
or
娑婆
seemingly
世界，
come and
其实
seemingly
好
go.
像有来，
That coming to the Saha world now,
你如果
it
悟到了
seems
这个，
that we come and
你
it
就
seems
到
that we
达
go.
无始，
If you gain enlightenment about this, then you can go to the
这叫做
deathless
开悟，
Pure Land. Then you would
就
be
是如来。
enlightened. Then you would be Tathagata.
我们有没有来
如
娑婆
来。
世界？
Have we come to the Saha world?
好像有，
It seems so,
你身体在这里讲话，好像有。
because your body's here
有一
speaking,
天你死了，
but
又
one
好
day
像没有，
after you die, it doesn't seem so.
根本就是
So
一场梦，
it's just a dream.
这个一场戏。
It's just a
你如果
play.
能够这样子想，你
If
才
you
能够
can
解
think
脱你
this
自己
way,
本身的烦恼。
then you would be liberated from your own worries and afflictions.
你到娑婆世界得到了什么吗？
What have you
就是
gained
梁武帝啊，
coming
是一
to
个
the
悲
Saha
剧人
world?
物。梁武帝，
So the Emperor
他
Wu of
虽然
Liang
4次出家，
is very pitiful,
出家
although
他当皇帝也
he
出家，剃头到
ordained to
铜太
become a
师
monk 44 times.
去出家，然后
He
大
shaved
臣
his head
又拿钱把他赎回来当皇帝，
to a temple,
然后他又跑去铜
and the
太寺
minister
出家，
brought him
他
back to
几次
become
出家都跑
emperor
到铜太寺
to
去出
Tong
家
Tai Si
啊，没有跑到雷藏寺
several
去出家。
times. He
那时
didn't
候
come
没
to
有
Lei
雷藏
Zhang
寺，
temple
啊梁武帝
because
跑
at
到
that time
铜太
there
寺
were
出
no
家
Lei
一共
Zhang
有10
temples.
次，将近
So
有
he
10次
went
他
to
不
Tong
想
Tai
当
Si
出家，不
temple
想当皇帝，
4 times to become monks. He didn't want to become emperor.
他也是悲剧呀。他那个朝
So
代一
that's
下
a
子就结束。
tragedy that his dynasty ended very fast.
姓萧的，他有两个朝代都是皇帝，一个是齐，一个是
萧
梁，齐梁两个朝代都是姓
There are
萧
two
的当
dynasties,
皇帝。
one with family names Qi and the other one Liang.
在那个朝代里面呢，
Became emperors.
梁
And
武
in
帝
that
到最后终于
dynasty,
领悟了，
Emperor Liang
当了皇
finally
帝一样也是无所得，
enlightened that as an emperor he had
他有
nothing
4个
to
很悲惨
gain.
的故事，4个很悲惨。
And there were 4 tragic
有4个人
stories for
他
people.
房家也很多的丑闻，房家很多的丑闻。
There were lots
梁
of
武帝时代
scandals in the royal
第一个
palaces. One
是
is
他的二
Emperor
老婆
Wu of Liang,
丁令光，
and then the
丁令
second
光
wife, Ding
他的
Guang.
二老婆死
The
掉的时
second
候，
wife,
他非常的悲痛，
he was really
Yeah.
grieving over her death.
是他的太
Second,
子萧统，丁令光的儿子，
her son, the crown prince Xiao Tong, also passed away.
第3个
And
是
third,
他的最好的密友山中宰相，
his bosom body
叫什么名字？
and the prime minister.
历史上梁武帝的山中宰相也是他的密友，
That Emperor Liang's
是一个
prime
修道的
minister
一个
is
修道的
also his bosom body.
如果是学佛的是智
So-
公禅师啊，学佛的是智公，
Was a
那么
Taoist,
邪
not
道
the
的
Buddhist Zigong, but the
梁武帝
Taoist.
邪道的密友山中宰相， 你们赶快手机赶快。
Quick, check the
他
cell
也
phone,
死了，
the internet. He
他帮皇
also
帝炼丹，到最后
died.
他也死了。
That he
第四
helped
个
the emperor to practice, but he died.
对，陶景洪，
His
还是
name
陶
was
弘
Tao
景，
Jing, Tao
陶
Hong
弘
Jing.
景，
Tao
陶
Hong
弘
Jing.
景
Yes, right.
是道家很有名的一个
A very famous
一个
Taoist
道士，在中
master
国上很有名的道
in
士，陶
China's
弘景，
history, Tao Hong Jing.
他也死了。
He also
第
died.
四个，
And fourth,
从小陪他到大，
the
他的
one
旗童，
who
他的旗童，
accompanied
古人啊，他
him
从小他还没有当
from
皇帝以前的
childhood
旗童，一直到
before he became an
老都
emperor
跟着他的，
always
这个叫
followed
陈
him.
庆之，陈
His
庆
name
之，
was
他
Chen
也死了。
Qingzi. He also died.
最后他知道，他终于悟到
And eventually
无所得，
he realized that
无所
he had
得。
nothing.
你知道无
He
所得，
gained
你
nothing.
才能够悟。
Only when you
悟了，
realize,
你就
comprehend that
可以
there's
到
nothing to
无
gain,
始
that
境
you would gain
这个
enlightenment.
方便
Once you're
法。
enlightened, you can go to the deathless Pure
这个
Land.
毕瓦巴同
And
样
this is
开
a
启了三
skillful
世诸
means,
佛
a convenient
心
Dharma
间
gate.
密藏之门。所有的佛
Virupa
因为有
opened the
开
secret
悟，
store of consciousness of
悟
all
后见
Buddhas of the
性，
past, present, and future.
见了性
All
以后成
Buddhas,
佛。
after
这
gaining
个密
enlightenment,
藏之
they
门
practice to see the
就
Buddha
是
nature
开
and
悟
ultimately
成
attaining Buddhahood.
见性，开悟见性。
So,
诸佛
gaining
菩萨，
enlightenment
诸
and
佛
seeing the Buddha
全部
nature.
是开
All
悟
the
见性，
Buddhas
菩萨还不一定开悟。
gain enlightenment and see the Buddha nature, but not necessarily
所
bodhisattvas.
以佛都是开悟
So
见性，
Buddhas
见到佛性。
all gain enlightenment and see the
它的
Buddha
密
natures.
藏之门，毕
And
瓦巴
this
有
is
讲
the
出来。
secret
此根本金刚的记，
s-
像如意宝珠一
store,
样，
the
像
gate of the
如
secret
意宝
store.
珠观音一样的，
So it's
是
like the
能够
wish
圆满
fulfilling
暂
jewels.
时的
The
能
Vaja
就
wish
近的
verses
一
are
切
the wish
希
fulfilling
求的
jewels.
根源，
They can fulfill all the transient and everlasting roots of
一切的
wishes.
根源，
All the
开
roots
悟见性是
is
一切的根源。
gaining enlightenment and seeing the Buddha nature. That's the roots of everything.
你如来的
Once you
话，
gain
你就
enlightenment and
是
see the Buddha
无
nature,
始
then you
境
are Tathagata. Once you are Tathagata, then you go to the deathless Pure Land.
那是永远的净土。这
And
一
that's
句
an
话
everlasting
在这
Pure
里
Land.
跟大家解释这一句。
So that's my explanation on this verse, this excerpt.
啊，要吃饭了。
Time for dinner?
阿弥陀佛。啊，有一个笑话是这样子的。
There's a joke that goes like this.
有一个人啊，去学
Someone
驾驶，
learn
到
to
驾驶
drive
班去学驾驶。这个
in
人
the
对
driving
教练
school.
讲：“教练，我好紧张
And
哦。”
he told the
教练讲
instructor,
你
I'm so
紧张个
nervous.
屁啊！
What
该
are you
紧张的
nervous
是走
about?
路的人，
The ones should be
红灯你
nervous
也
are
不
the
过，
pedestrians.
绿灯你也不过，是不是没有你喜欢的颜色？
So you don't drive on red light,
这
you
个
don't
教练
drive
就
on
讲
green light because
你
you
看
don't
到
like the
那个人了
colors.
吗？这个学开车的人就我
And
看
the
到了。
instructor, did you
教
see
练
that
讲说
person?
撞死他。
And the
学员
driver
说我
said,
不敢。
oh,
教练讲不敢，你还不
please
刹车啊？
ride over him. And he said, no, I don't dare. Then why don't you put on the brake?
告诉你，
So
我
let
们
me
学
tell
佛
you,
的人就要
as
听
Buddhist
师
practitioners,
父的话。
you need to listen to the words of your gurus.
叫你开，你就要开；叫
If
你
you're
刹车，你
told
就要刹
to
车。
drive, then you should drive.
不然你会
If you're
一定
told
会
to brake, then you
出
should
祸事。
brake. Otherwise, you would be in an accident,
对不对？
right?
我骂你等你后。
Oh, money, penny, home.